Welcome back, guys. Day 18 here, and today is probably one of my favorite portions of astrology. So many of it is my favorite, but this one in particular is helpful for getting on the path to your destiny, getting on the path to enlightening your soul. And it deals with the nodes of the moon. They are called the North Node and the South Node, or in Vedic astrology, Rahu and Ketu, which is the head of a dragon and the body of a dragon that was like an evil being in mythology. It drank or ate some nectar of immortality, so the gods had to cut its head off and like throw them away so they couldn't harm people. But because they drank the nectar of immortality, they still live. And the meanings of the nodes of the moon relate to our karmic path. The south node, or the body of the dragon named Ketu, deals with our past. And Rahu, or the north node of the moon, deals with our future. And in a physical sense, what these points are is the intersection between the sun and the moon. So we have Earth, and we have the sun. The sun isn't rotating around it, but it looks like the sun rotates around it, and the moon is rotating around it. This circle, or like oval, that the sun and the moon do are slightly different circles, and so the circles end up intersecting at 2 points. When the moon is descending on its path and the sun is ascending, that point is called the south node of the moon, or Ketu. When the moon is ascending on its path and the sun is descending on its path, that is the north node of the moon, or Rahu. And with Rahu, this is what we need to do. Like, this is what we're going to do, regardless of our choice. The idea is that no matter what we do, we have lessons we need to learn. We have a path that we need to follow. There are certain patterns that need to come about in order for harmony to take place. You know, if you have a physics equation based upon certain, maybe you're doing a test of a car running into a wall, and you're testing different like shock mechanisms and damage absorption, you need to get the equations right. You need to understand the actual physical reality of the event. And similar for this is that no matter what you do, regardless of even looking at astrology, there will be certain things that we need to do as human beings that live on both the physical layer and the subtler layer of emotions and mind. Things that we need to do in order to bring happiness to ourselves and to make it so we are learning the things that we ought to learn so that we can be the best that we can be. Ketu represents that which we've already learned. Things from our past life, things where we fly into this world and we have a bunch of shit with us already. We have a bunch of talents and energies that our soul has picked up over time. Kind of the idea is that we live in a certain dimension here on planet Earth, and souls that come from other dimensions fly through an energy portal that relates to the south node of the moon, where the moon and the sun intersect on their paths. And there's kind of a torus field of energy where souls come in through this part of the world energetically, find a body, come alive, and then their energy moves in the direction that Rahu is naturally in a line. This is just a theory. This is definitely not technical or factual. Just take it with a grain of salt and see it more as something that can help you along your path to evolve. And so what I'm going to do in this video is give a brief little example of what it could mean for Rahu to be in a certain sign and then Ketu to be opposite of it. It's good to note that wherever Rahu is, or the north node of the moon, the south node of the moon will be exactly opposite on the chart, 180 degrees. And this is to kind of show that the point of our destiny is to take what we've already learned, what we've already gained, our comfort zone, our strength, and move towards the unknown, the places we need to go. Ketu in the positive will deal with enlightenment, contentment, and being basically fine with reality, being in your comfortable space and accepting that you don't need anything than what you already have. In the negative sense, though, it's boring, it's stagnant. You don't progress, you don't gain things because you already gained them. There's things you already have. And for Rahu, in a positive sense, you're perfecting all the time. You're gaining wealth, both maybe materialistically, but also emotionally and consciously. You will be changing your life, changing the lives of others, and learning that which you need to learn based upon being aware of your body, your mind, and your intuition. On the negative side, though, people get too clingy, they get too wanty, they desire too strongly, and then get addicted or obsessed to power, lust, materials, etc. So now I'll go through the different signs. When Rahu is in Aries and Ketu is in Libra, odds are you are here to focus on you. Your destiny is to learn lessons involved with your body, your mind, your head, your ego, purifying them and making them absolutely amazing. And what you have is social power. In the past, you learned possibly different artistic methods to help harmonize individuals. You're maybe good at talking and good at, social reform and things like that. You were good at interacting with people, is what Ketu and Libra will say. And having that power will help you move through life and become the best you can be, because you'll be able to understand how to interact with people and how to make them happy, and then their energy can build, and then you can build off of that as well and become the best self, the best ego, the best one. And that's usually what a Rahu and Aries will be, trying to be the best them they can be. And for Rahu and Taurus, it's probably going to be someone that sings, makes music, plays and lives a very simple, sensual life. Their goals are to understand that magic and beauty is in every moment. That's probably a good lesson to learn for every single individual ever, regardless, but maybe more so for someone with Rahu and Taurus who needs to understand that the infinite beauty is in the grain of the sand, or a leaf, or the sound of a bird. And they have the power of Scorpio with them, which is sexual, it's magical, it's dark, it's fearless, and they might have went through that in a past life, conquered their fears, did like tantric rituals, maybe enacted black magic. They have this emotional power that they can embrace and understand, and that will help them maybe sing, make music, but also understand the emotions in the natural world. For Rahu and Gemini, you're going to be a talkative person. You're going to have to interact with people. You're going to have to make connections and share knowledge and insights. Your Ketu will be in Sagittarius. So in the past, maybe you traveled a lot. You dug into spirituality and like religious texts, tried to understand the great truth of the beyond, and you were maybe lighthearted about it. Usually Sagittarius people look at the bigger picture, so they're not too intense emotionally, and this can be really helpful for just one-on-one chatter and interactions with people, being lighthearted and embracing the bigger picture rather than being too emotional. Next is Rahu and Cancer. Your path might be to be too emotional. You might have to embrace the depths and the sways of emotion, just like the moon waxes and wanes. And you maybe mastered Saturnic qualities in the past life, the Capricorn, structure, law, and order. This can help you be really good at making a family and keeping it stable. And that could be your path as a Cancer Rahu. You have to understand the beauty of a family life and nurture it. And you have the understanding of stability and structure to back you. For Leo, someone with Rahu and Leo, they can often be there to show people how to love themselves and how to be bright, how to be the king of their own reality. They'll lead the few that need to be led and inspire those to lead that also can lead. And they have this beautiful power of freedom, reinvention, and revolution with Ketu and Aquarius. This helps them understand that people can be the biggest stars that they can be. We can all be big stars. I experienced it in a past life. I lived in Atlantis or something, and now I'm here to help everybody be big stars again. That can be one way to look at Rahu and Leo. Now, for Rahu and Virgo, this is people that are meant to help. as like this is the biggest part about Virgo, is selfless service to humans and the world. And for someone with Ketu and Pisces and Rahu and Virgo, they most likely dove into meditation, dreams, astral projection, in the spirit world in a past life. You know, maybe they were a shaman or something like that. And now they are here with that grounded understanding of the spirit world to assist others and help them get there too. For Rahu and Libra, now going on to the opposite end of the zodiac, people with Rahu and Libra will need to learn how to balance crowds, how to balance the minds and hearts of individuals, and they'll use a huge smorgasbord of things, whether it's public speaking, music, painting, even poetry, anything. There's so many mediums that that Librans use to help individuals balance their bodies and minds. And what they'll have is knowledge of self-perfection and the confidence to be productive and active from their past life with Ketu and Aries. Now, with Rahu and Scorpio, this is an example of my chart. My Rahu is in Scorpio and my Ketu in Taurus. I see it as we're here to transform. We're here to change ourselves, change the world, help the death process happen, basically. And both embrace death, but realize that you're still alive after death. Your cells die every day, but you're still here. You know, people die all the time, but the overall reality of consciousness is still here. Scorpio is about transcending that and staying alive through going to the darkness, going to death. And the slow, stable, peaceful Taurus energy with Ketu in Taurus can really help one not react emotionally and crazily to ego deaths and transformation of self and society. For Rahu and Sagittarius, you're going to probably need to be adventurous and explore a lot. Understand that there's a spiritual layer behind everything, and follow your heart to the greatest reaches of infinity. And what you have in your disposal is this beautiful ability to talk and communicate to people and interact and get on their wavelength with Ketu and Gemini. Then we move to Rahu and Capricorn. People with Rahu and Capricorn have a strong ability to sense order, to sense justice, balance, when things are operating and organized well, when a society has its pieces in order. And they will have their beautiful power of loving family, nurturing energy, motherly moon with Ketu and Cancer to help make structures more than just structures. In a previous video I said how Saturn can be too restricting at times. Having Ketu in Cancer makes it really, really helpful for Saturn to be empathetic. For Rahu in Aquarius, which is Uranus, the reinvention, the revolution, people are gonna most likely require helping the world become free. There's a lot of limitations that are unhealthy in this world, and so when somebody has a lot of Aquarius energy, or their Rahu is in Aquarius, there's a heavy pull towards changing the system and reinventing the way we do things so that everybody has a fair spot and placement. And the knowledge of Leo in the past, of being a bright star, maybe even leading, can really help one learn how to change society so that it's fair, so that the light shines in all directions equally. And finally, for Rahu and Pisces, this one's a cool one. I see this one as you did your time with Ketu, Virgo. You helped people, you're at service to God, and now you're here to experience spirit, to experience the divine, and understand the emotional, empathetic world. And you're not a slave to the physical world. You might actually have to leave it sooner than you may expect. And that's all. Those are all relative, by the way. Just as much as anything else I say, pretty much, these are all things that have. This is just one way to interpret it, and it'll be different for every person. It'll be different depending on what other planets are at play in a chart. These are just nice, simple ways to interpret what Rahu and Ketu might mean and how to utilize them in your life. So the homework for tonight is one, I want you to find out where your Rahu and Ketu are if you haven't already. So go on to masteringthezodiac.com or any other site that uses an astronomical zodiac system and find out where the exact positions of your north and south moon, node of the moon. And beyond this, see how the rest of your chart will influence this. You know, your Rahu might be in Leo, but you know, you might have a lot of watery energy in your chart, so that'll change the directionality of your destiny. So find out where your Rahu is, see where your rising, sun, and moon signs are. Maybe if there's anything that's obviously exalted, like Venus in Pisces or Moon in Taurus, check that out too, and try to interpret how those components will steer your destiny, like how it will change where you'll go. And that's the homework for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow.